versus.
Hey guys, Pat Ryerke here, also known as the Patriarchy, kicking social justice ass well into 2017. God, I hate Don Lemon. I really do. He's such a fucking asshole. You know, this is going to be a different kind of video. I'm going to just talk shit about CNN, a mainstream media outlet. And I don't usually do videos like this where I just talk mad trash on something on the TV. But I was flipping through the channels last night, and I caught this segment with Don Lemon just yelling at Jeffrey Lord for comparing Trump to Martin Luther King. Now, whether that comparison's good or not is one thing, but the way that CNN reacts here is so childish, which is typical for Don Lemon and the co-host of CNN. But wait till you see this crap. This is insane. They throw out the typical stuff. We get to speak for all black people. You don't understand as a white man. We see color. We're so much better than you because we see the color and racial bias because we have a racial bias. It's just virtue signaling horse shit, and they never let Jeffrey Lord get a word in. If he doesn't agree with them, he's being an asshole, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. Don Lemon tore into Jeffrey Lord during a panel discussion on CNN Thursday night. Lemon cornered the former Reagan staffer into squaring recent comments he'd made comparing President Trump to Martin Luther King Jr., but the conversation hit ahead when the CNN host accused him of spewing before the war crap. Oh my god. So let's look at the video for a little bit here, and then we'll talk about it. But it's not going to be fun, guys. This is very hard to watch. Trigger warning. CNN footage ahead.
Let me ask you something. You have three people you work with, right? You work with Bakar, you work with me, you work with Simone. Three people of color. And Selena said... No. Let me get the point out. Let me get the point out. We are telling you that comparison was insulting, and you're ignoring it. Don't you think you should take that into consideration?
Don't you think you should take my feelings into consideration? Don't you think that what I believe is absolute truth? Look, you work with black people here. We have to point that out. Look, you're here with black people. Shouldn't you think the way we do? What the fuck is wrong with you, Don Lemon? You don't get to speak for all black people. You being black does not make you an expert on Martin Luther King for no reason. It doesn't make you more correct on your opinion on this issue. You're just giving your opinion. You're like, here we are with black people, and you're not listening to how that insulted us. Martin Luther King's dead. You can't speak for him. Nobody could speak for Martin Luther King except him, but he died. You need to try and carry his messages on, sure. And the fact that he used white people to make progress, because he knew you couldn't make progress with divisiveness, you had to actually get white people on your side. But, you know, Don Lemon at CNN, as far as he's concerned, it's black versus white. And he's just mad, and he wants Lord to acknowledge. He's like, please tell me I'm a black man, and that you were wrong, and what you said was racist. He doesn't have to cater to you. You're not owed an apology because you feel like it. I hope you realize that. Like, why do you get to be the arbiter of morality with how we talk about race or Martin Luther King? Why are you the fucking expert, Don Lemon? Who are you?
Whether or not you're trying to make a point or not, even if it's to the point that if I offended you, I'm sorry.
Don, when I lived as a teenager in the South and my dad lost his job standing up for a black waitress...
You're not answering my question now. You're not answering...
Jesus Christ, do you see her shaking her head like, oh god, he's trying to tell a story about when his dad fought racism. You're not answering my question now. Your question's stupid. You're asking a terrible question. It's not even a question like, how do you respond to us? I don't know, quit being babies. It's not even really a question. You're cornering him to, like, be in this It's not really a question. This isn't good journalism. You're just attacking him. About something that he can say. It's not that big of a deal. It doesn't matter if it insults you, Don Lemon. But that's so funny. She's just shaking her head like, no. He's telling... Yeah, sorry that I'm telling a story about, actual fighting against racism and oppression that my father did years ago. You know, I'm sure Don Lemon's out there just fighting the racist left and right as he's a host of a CNN show. You know, he has no privilege.
My question in the moment. Don't take me back to some before the war crap. I want to hear what you're saying to the coworkers you work with now, Jeffrey. Answer the question now. I don't want to hear about stuff from 50 damn years ago.
I don't want to hear about stuff from 50 darn damn years ago. This is a really terrible debate tactic. He's not letting Jeffrey Lord finish his answer. He's trying to tell this story like an analogy. It's going to lead to an answer. Talk to him. Instead, Jeffrey Lord goes like 5 seconds into it, and then Don Lemon's like, no, you're not answering my question. You're talking about old stuff. You're not talking about right now. You're like, you're not letting him get to it. And he's like, well, no, let me explain to you. I'm trying to answer your question. No. Talk about now. I don't want to hear about old stuff. Well, you're bringing up Martin Luther King. That's old stuff, Don Lemon. You're talking about old stuff already in the context of the conversation. You're talking about Martin Luther King back in the day. So you can't just jump to this thing where you're like, don't talk about the past. The whole conversation's about the past. Like, sure, Trump's modern, and the people you're referring to in the room are modern, but is he not allowed to try and answer your question with some nuance? No, it's like, no, it's not a yes or no question, dude. God, Don Lemon's so bad at his job. He doesn't know how to do it. He's so bad at being he doesn't know how to run a show even. He doesn't even know how to set this up right. It's just like, oh fuck, it's not going with the narrative. I got to jump in here. And it'd be cool if Don Lemon occasionally said something insightful or funny or something, but goddamn, he is basic bitch 101. He's the cuckery fully realized in the black man. Uncle Cuck, if you will. That should be a new thing we start, Uncle Cucks.
Strategy, no matter
Jeffrey,
who uses it.
You haven't listened to anything we said.
Don, you're talking liberal to me. That's what you're doing.
No, I'm talking real.
He's talking
this
human.
is real. I'm talking.
Oh my god. You're not listening to anything we're saying. You're not listening to him. Do you not see the hypocrisy? He is trying to talk and answer, and then you are just jumping at him and attacking him. So when he's saying you're talking liberal, he's saying you're diverting. You're cutting away from anything he's trying to say, and you're going to the race card. That's all you're doing, Don Lemon. You're like, you're not listening because I'm black and you're white and you don't understand. You're not making a point. And then he's talking human. He's talking human, and you're not listening to his humanity. He's not talking human. He's talking retard. I'm not going to let a retarded person come on and talk about Martin Luther King. He's not talking, what, human? No, human is letting Jeffrey Lord answer the question and actually have a conversation with him. Instead, you're like, I'm going to interrupt you, fuck you, you don't matter, you're wrong because you're white. That's all it says, you're wrong because you're white. If a white person was trying to shut a black person down this way, the way that Don Lemon's doing it, it'd be really fucking racist. It's really messed up. That's what he's doing. He's like, well, I'm the black man and I have the authority here, so I'm going to shut you down. And he's talking human. Yeah, wow, how deep. I'm so overwhelmed by this political commentary. Don Lemon from our... It's so impressive. Why can't I hear it? Was my whiteness just blocking it?
Talking human.
Listening.
You're going to sit here on television and tell us that you don't notice the color. I notice the color of your hair. I notice when someone has red hair. I know you have white hair. I know Simone is wearing. I know Simone is wearing white. I know I'm wearing blue. It's insulting when you are stating something that is not in reality.
Wait a minute. Okay. So you're saying that because I see black people as black, like Don Lemon, you're a black man, I see that you're black, that all the stuff that goes with that in your mind, the racism, the biases, and all that is there, and it's not reality, me not acknowledging, like, look, that guy has white hair, that person's that. Okay, I don't like blondes. I don't usually date blonde girls. That's probably a bias. I don't hurt blonde women because of that, but I see the blonde hair and I'm not as attracted to it. It's not insulting when you're saying that if you see black people, you don't treat them differently because they're black. You don't care that they're black. I don't see a black person go, oh, they're black. Now, you care that you're black. You're obsessed with being black, and you're obsessed that Jeffrey Lord's white, and you want to make the big deal about that. You care about the skin color, which totally goes against Martin Luther King's teachings. It shows that you didn't even understand Martin Luther King on any basic level. You are in the Black Lives Matter rhetoric, modern race-baiting political bullshit. This is just you virtue signaling, like, look how good I am because I'm standing up against Trump because Trump bad. You can't say good things about Trump. Why not listen to what the man said and talk to him about it? Instead, you're just cornering him to apologize. If he doesn't apologize, you're not going to take any answer. And I love how you're saying you don't see insulting of reality. What are you getting at? What are you talking about this reality? You're just talking nonsense now. Like, you keep trying to restructure and change what you're saying, the argument to make him wrong. You're just throwing shit out there, and it makes you sound like a child. You're not making a point, Don Lemon. You're just talking. You're just saying words, and you think they're, like, sticking, but they don't mean anything. You're just throwing words out there. And Jeffrey Lord just says, like, one or two words, and he shuts you down. His points are so much better. He's like, that's not insulting. What's wrong with you? And he's right. That isn't, like, there's no logic. We can't follow what you're trying to get at.
And we're sitting here as people.
You're not.
Will you let me finish? Jeffrey, I'm talking to you. Will you let me finish? Okay. Dr. King means something different.
Will you let me fucking finish? I'm talking to you. You've been interrupting this guy the whole time, you piece of dog shit. And then you're on your let me finish because what I'm saying is so important. You're not saying anything. Fuck off. You're being interrupted because what you're saying is off base, and you're not letting a guy who clearly seems more informed on King and probably wiser on you of this whole era because he's older and been around. Let him talk a little bit. You don't want him to talk because he's a white man. Don't let me. You're acting racist. You're not letting the white man talk. And I love that. Let me talk. You stop interrupting me. You've been interrupting the whole time. Shut the fuck up. This is such bullshit. I'm getting so pissed watching this. I feel like Hard Bastard right now, and how does he do this so much? Fuck.
To the people who are sitting here than he meant to you. He wasn't just a tactic for us. He's a real person who helped me to be able to get here, and Simone to be able to sit here, and for Bakari to be able to sit here, and Selena, and for you to come on and give some reckless comparison to his work and his legacy.
It is Dr. King's views.
Good night.
You should not be judged by the...
Don Lemon doesn't know what to do. He does this all the time. When he gets defeated, when he can't argue, because he can't argue back, he has no arguments for this point. He just keeps doing the same thing over and again. He just ends the segment. Like, when he gets shut down, he's like, fuck, I can't go beyond this point. So he's just like, fuck it, I gotta end the segment. He's like, good night. He's just ranting on there. He's like, for you to make a reckless comparison like that and not understand it is just messed up. Good night. Well, he's there trying to talk like, yeah, to reach the goals of Martin Luther King, your skin color doesn't matter. Let's talk about that it doesn't matter for me to compare him to Trump because Trump's a white man and Martin Luther King didn't want there to be a difference. He wanted it to be on the basis of who you were. Dunman's like, how dare you even say that? What the fuck? What's wrong with you? He won't even let him get a fucking word in. He's being such a prick about it. And the whole thing at the very end there, that last little bit where he basically just tells him, like, you don't get it. Okay, you don't get it because you're a white guy. And I get it because I'm Don Lemon and I'm black. And the fact that he ends it right there at that moment, like he thinks he won, that is such a pathetic, cowardly moment. That makes Don Lemon look worse because he doesn't even have enough conviction in what he's saying to really fight and stand up for it against a lord. He just has to shut him down. He's not going to let him talk. Typical liberal tactic. The left is obsessed with skin color and gender and stuff because for some reason they think dehumanizing people is going to unite us more if we all notice our biases. I think the opposite, and I think the proof's in the pudding that we're more divided by 8 years of this kind of political climate, but whatever, I guess Obama brought peace to everyone. But this is typical mainstream media shit. It's just rhetoric, it's just to divide people, and of course you can't compare Trump to Martin Luther King. That's the most awful thing in the world, and you don't let him come make his case, you just bring him on here to apologize he didn't, so you bitch at him for a couple minutes, and then you shut him off. I love this. Martin Luther King meant more to us. You didn't know Martin Luther King. You don't know him. You've benefited from his work, but you didn't know him. You don't get to speak for him. You don't get to speak of his importance to other people in this country and how they're affected by it. I'm sorry, Don Lemon, you just don't. And everyone on there is talking. I love how you talk about not bringing up the past, yet a lot of your argument contextually is holding up for you because of the past, is the idea of like things used to be one way and now they're different. So you never had a point. You just kept making some straw mans over and over again about Jeffrey Lord. You kept trying to make it like he was saying something worse than what he said. And then it basically got to the point where CNN does what it does. It says, fuck other opinions. They have their black women on there to shake and nod their heads and go, nope, nope, nope. You guys are supposed to be better than Huffington Post or BuzzFeed and stuff, and yet you're just as bad. You're just as low of a standard of shit. It's laughable. It's hilarious. And of course Trump gets to call you fake news. This isn't a fake thing, but it's stupid. It's dumb news. I'm just going to call this, bad news. God, if you guys ever watch Fox News, like, Greg Gutfeld's actually funny. It's not that I always agree with him, but he can actually make good jokes. He actually has some great jokes on that show. I mean, at least have some humor or some shit. Jesus, Don Lemon takes himself so fucking seriously. He thinks he is a goddamn expert on everything. Jeez. I mean, it's just annoying. It's a waste of time. I never really talk about the mainstream media much because this is what it is 7 days a week. It's just propaganda. That's all it is. It's them pushing propaganda. It's so partisan. It's just hackery. And Don Lemon is yes, Uncle Cuck fully realized. He is awful. He is not a good journalist. He's not good at his job. He doesn't know how to structure conversations or to have debate or get to the real issue at anything. He's just a closed-minded fool. He's just a closed-minded individual who is trapped in his worldview, and he can't see anything the other way, and he should not have the job he has. He's terrible at his job, and it's only hurting CNN's already whatever they have left of credibility. And yeah, it'll continue the decline because people don't like watching stuff like this. They clearly see that you're being the asshole in the situation. You're not shutting down a guy who was wrong. It doesn't get your point. You're not having a conversation with someone. You want to talk about being human? Try to practice what you preach, Don Lemon. Anyway, this is the Patriarchy. Like, comment, and subscribe. Give your opinions in the comments. I'm very willing to hear them. And until next time, I'll go fuck yourselves.